What's up, YouTube? Today we're playing around with Divi and the new sticky options that were released in the last few weeks. So we're playing around with the new live setup, and hopefully this goes well. We're gonna play around and see what happens. So let's jump right into the back end. We're here, we're looking at Divi, and the way I start every one of these videos, I'm gonna do the same thing here in the lives, is that we're gonna go in and show you the versions of what we're using, because this stuff's going to stay on the channel. So we're in Divi 4.6.1, and you can see down here in the bottom right, we're using WordPress 5.5.1. So this is the newest, the latest and greatest as of 9/6/2020. So what we're going to do here, like we've got literally nothing, just set the stage, very blank Divi site, and we're going to build out a sticky menu. So we're going to have to create a page, something that's long enough to where we can see some of these sticky options. So let's just go ahead and take the sample page that Elegant Themes gives us, and we're gonna just go ahead and drop one of the pre-built layouts into this thing. And yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason here. We don't have a plan. Like I have no plan to what's gonna happen today. So we're just gonna roll with the punches. We're gonna play with this and kind of see what happens, because I've done it on a few projects. I just went in, like I was at the tail end of some projects, and I've added the sticky options into it, but I haven't really gone deep. So let's choose a layout, go into one of the pre-made layouts. Shout out Kenny and the Elegant Themes team. They do some really incredible packs. But it doesn't really matter. We'll just pick really anyone. Beer sounds awesome. Let's do the brewery pack. And we'll just drop the landing page in here. That way we've got some content to work with. So yeah, this is exciting. I've been waiting for the sticky options on these menus for quite a while from Elegant Themes, so it's really exciting to see them here. We're finally getting some stuff going with this, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. So right now, like, we're in the back end in the visual builder of this page, and as you scroll, by default Divi kind of does this. When you use the normal, not visual builder, nothing from the theme builder, that's kind of the old school natural actions that Divi does, right? Everybody's seen it. We're gonna go ahead and save. We'll go ahead and save this layout. So you can hit Control S or Command S, I think, on Mac. I just recently switched from Mac over to a PC setup, running OBS here. I think we're gonna do a lot more of these lives. So at least every few weekends or something, we'll try and play around with this. So we're gonna exit here. All right, so this is the front end of the page. You can kind of see what's happening here. And what we want to do is change this whole menu into something way more custom and play around with the sticky option. So it's still sticky right now. It's technically what they call fixed. So we'll go back into the back end, Divi theme options here, And this being enabled, the fixed navigation bar, if I turn that off, hit save, and go back into the front end, you're going to see when we go to the sample page, it doesn't stick anymore because we don't have fixed navigation on. This is actually a good one. Let's eliminate the step of having to go over to this sample page. We're going to go back into the WordPress settings. We'll go to reading, and we're going to change our home page to display a static page. So let's just pick that sample page, and we'll hit save changes. Now when we open up the site and the front end, it's going to go straight to that page. We don't have to click in the menu and do all those things. So again, this is a super great, really nice layout. What's cool is like all of these images you can actually get from Elegant Themes as well. So you could take these PSDs and go in and change the colors, change the text on here, and kind of build out your own site if you're starting up a brewery or anything like that. And that works for any of those layouts. All that stuff is available for you. So we're going to jump back into the back end. Let's go into the theme builder itself. We're going to add a global header here, and we're going to build the global header from scratch. And Elegant Themes hasn't yet added in some of the theme builder things like the headers, the footers, and global presets into the library. They still just have the page layouts, and I know it's going to change, it's going to evolve, and I'm sure in probably Divi 5.0 they're working to retool that whole thing. I'm pretty excited for that. So let's just pull up a menu. We're going to add a normal menu here, and we haven't created a menu. Again, this is as scratch as it can get. So it's just pulling in the pages that we have on our site and the categories. So we're going to close down the content. We'll open up this logo section, and I want to add the site logo that was set in the back end. So we'll hit the dynamic content and pull site logo, and this is just going to put the Divi logo in here because we haven't set one. And elements, you can go in here, you can add the search icon if you want, you can leave it off if you don't. Why not? I mean, we can put it there. Never a bad thing. So layout, we've got a few different things. I'm going to stick with left aligned. Menu text here, we can actually push the text over to the right, so it'll give some space in between the logo and the text, and you can center it. You can go right, but the center is going to be centered in the other side of the space. Doesn't include the actual logo, so we'll push it over there. And then font color, we can make it black. We can really do whatever we want to do. Go a little bit larger. And then the active, let's say we're going to use that purple, the Divi purple. So that'll be it for the regular menu right now. And if we wanted to play with the other options, drop down menus and all that, we could update the menus, but we're just trying to go pretty simple for this one, really, so we can get into the sticky options. Now the icons, let's make all of the icons black. That way the search bar and all that stuff. Search icon you can make it bigger. There's even some custom stuff in here that you can come in and do. If you wanted to space these things out a little bit more, you could do that. But we're just gonna, again, leave it pretty stock for now. But the one thing we do want to do here, they always put a white background. I'm going to make this transparent on the background, and then we'll start looking at sizing. So under the section, we're going to drop the padding on the top and the bottom to where the menu pushes up a lot, where the row goes all the way to it. And then we could play around with the row spacing if we wanted to as well. And we could put it as 10. That way it'll shrink things up a little bit more. So now we've got this little menu that's here, and you can do all kinds of different things with it. If you wanted to change sizing, we could change the logo height, which will shrink everything in. This is actually where some of the sticky options are going to come in. So let's go and take this. We're just going to save it now. So let's open the menu, hit save. We're going to close out of this and go and show you what it looks like here. So key, really important point right here is that whenever you're doing anything for the first time in the theme builder, you want to make sure that when you exit the layout, you hit save changes here, or else it won't take effect on the front end. So we'll open up the site again, and now our menu should be up here. Looks like we have the menu, but the site logo is not there, which is fine. We can go back in here, theme options, and let's just upload a random logo. So branding, go to logo, blue text. We'll just drop the Keegan Lanier Media logo in here. And that kind of works. We'll save it, we'll refresh the front end, and we should have the site logo populate here. And we do. Now it's way too big and not very pretty, but that's okay. We can fix that. So now you scroll, you see nothing happens. It just kind of sticks to the top of the page. It's not staying in place, which is cool. That's exactly what it should be doing right now. So we'll jump back into the visual builder, into the theme builder, right? Open up the header. And this is where some of the sticky stuff's going to start working. So let's adjust this obnoxiously large logo right now. So we'll push this down. That looks much, much better. And then we want to go under the settings for the section, under advanced and down into scroll effects. And they've added this sticky section, right? So we're going to stick it to the top. And you can do sticky offset, which if you did that and you scrolled, it would scroll up and then stick to the top. But we're going to keep it at the top the whole time. And we're going to keep just the standard options. So offset from surrounding sticky. So it'll apply the offset to anything that's around you if there's another sticky element. And then transition default and sticky styles. Yes, we want to transition from the default to the sticky styles. And there's a reason for this. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. And you see like the rest of the layout is kind of dark. Like the top is dark. So I'd like for the menu to stand out. And let's go ahead and refresh since we saved it and we tweaked the logos down a little bit. Just make sure we double check that we saved it. All right. So close this one. Shouldn't have to save it here again once this is already saved. The layout should update, but sometimes I'll do it just to make sure. Well, for some reason, this logo just does not want to adjust, which is fine. We'll keep on going, right? Because we've got the sticky options set. So as we scroll, everything stays in place. Now the spacing is all jacked up, but that's cool too. So let's take this and make it so that the styles actually change whenever they become sticky. So that's what's really cool about this, is that you can style anything differently when it becomes sticky. So you can make something pop, create a call to action, do any of those things once you've created something that is in a sticky state. So let me go back into this logo sizing actually. And rather than change this, let's change the width of the logo, shrink that down, and we can make it be a little bigger here, and then and then you click this pin right here. This is the sticky option. So when you click it, it gives you the desktop and it gives you the sticky option. So if we want it under normal circumstances, like whenever you see it for the first time, it's not in its sticky state, it could be this size. And then when it goes to sticky, we can shrink this down a little bit, right? So we can go to, let's say 25% and 40%. So that's normal. Like it's going to go from here to here whenever it hits the sticky state. Then we can go out of the menu back into the section and actually change the background. So let's hover over here. Now we've got this sticky option here. So we've got the transparent background let's make the background actually white for the entire section. And then when it goes sticky, let's change that to black. And then we can go back into our menu, go under design, and we've got the menu text. So we've got hover, we've got all the different sizes for responsiveness, and we've got sticky. So purple's not going to stand out very well on the on the black background, but that's all right, because we've got black text here for the regular menu. That's definitely not going to stand out very well on that black menu. So change the sticky to be white. That way the text is going to stand out. And then for the sticky, this one is something that we may have to play around with. Maybe we just make it blue to match kind of close to this one, and I can make it the exact same color. And that would kind of work, right? Let's save what we've got. And then we're going to double check this again, and we're going to open the front end, and we're going to see some of the stuff that we've worked on, right? So our logo's here. We scroll down. It's still in the sticky state, which is weird that things are not updating the way they're supposed to. This has 0 caching on it. Should be working. You can see it's sticking, but the changes that we're making just aren't working. So that's what's the beauty of working with things like this, is that you just never know what's going to happen. All right, so let's change back into our sticky state. So we've got our stuff. It's absolutely working. And it's the global header, the default template, and we've got settings as our page. Let's go back into sample page. Sample page as our page. We're just going to call this the home page. Update this, and let's go and actually build a menu. Set it as the primary menu. We've got our home page. And then we're just going to create some placeholder links. Little contact page. And about page. And a beer page. That way it kind of fits into what we're doing here. And let's go back into the front and see if any of that took place, like if it actually took hold. So the menus are changing. This is interesting. The sticky options are not. And this has worked for me dozens of times. So let's see if maybe it's the logo that's kind of the issue. So we'll reset this. We'll hit save. And go back to the front end. I can't imagine that the logo is the issue. No, it's definitely not. All right, so we're going to go back into permalinks. For those of you who aren't very familiar with Divi, sometimes like there's issues that happen, and I think it's a WordPress thing. I don't think it's Divi, but the permalinks, for whatever reason, if you come in and resave them, like if the Divi visual builder won't load, this is a hot tip, like definite pro tip. Come in here, hit save on your permalinks. Don't change them. If you change them and you forget to put it back to what you had it before, it will thrash your SEO, because all of everything that Google has gone through and parsed or read through on your sitemap will absolutely be destroyed. So don't do that. That's a key. Don't do that. So let's go back into the visual builder. And we're going to try and see if we can make this work. So we've got the sticky options. Yeah, even you can see the logo there. It's changing size. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do here. I'm not really 100% sure what the issue is. It could potentially be a Divi bug, which I doubt. But this is running the brand new. It's even 4.6.1, like we showed you at the beginning. There should be no issues. We should have no problems, but for some reason we are, and that's okay. Sometimes these things, they do happen. That's fine. We'll put our logo back. We'll save this. What the hell? This is super weird. It's very strange, and not used to seeing it. So what we might do let's go in here and actually delete this and try it again. We're going to build a brand new one. So let's save it, go back to the front, and we're going to be back to our standard menu, which doesn't look that much different than what we just built, but build the global header. The reason we're building the visual builder is for the sticky options, and it's also so that you can take it and use the visual builder for whatever you want. So let's maybe get a little fancier in this menu. Let's do something like this. We're going to go an image here. We're going to delete this, and we're going to use a site logo over here, and we're going to hit the sizing. We're going to shrink this down, and then we're going to kind of do what we did before. We're going to change the padding top and bottom, shrink this thing up. We're going to go into the row, and we're going to also shrink the padding on the row. I think we did 10 last time. Yes. So now we've got these 3 columns, right? We're going to do the menu here. We're not going to use dynamic on the menu. We're just going to put content here. We're going to align these to the center, and let's change the font up. So we'll do like a condensed open sans. Just playing around here, so bear with me. We're going to go font weight bold, maybe a little smaller than that. All right. And then over here, we could just you could add a button. And we could go with whatever design we want. Button, custom style here. Let's go white, background color. We make it this blue, and yeah, it's gonna, I don't want to show the button. Border, no border. So that way it's just kind of like this. And we can change the hover effects, obviously, when we hover over it. Let's make it red. It's not the prettiest thing, but you get the point. We'll go back up to the menu itself. We'll change this text. So menu text, regular text, right? We want to go, let's make it not all the way black, but kind of like we have right here. And then when you hover over it, let's maybe definitely make it darker. So this right here, we can make it a little lighter. All right, so it goes from that to that. You can see it, it's pretty obvious when we hover over it. Perfect. And then I'm a symmetry freak, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a little custom stuff here. So display flex, justify content center. I don't know if I spelled that right. I did not. Justify content in the center. Align items. Okay. So we're going to do that. Go back under sizing, gutter width, equalize columns. Now everything should be as it was meant to be. And we'll, since I want the button to center as well, I will copy this same code over into here, except I'm going to push it all the way to the end. Flex end, right? Perfect. And then we'll align this image on the left. Make sure that's on the left. Perfect. All right. So we've kind of got our menu in place. Everything's centered up. And this is here. So what we need to do now is go back into sticky, scroll effects, stick to the top, and we're going to hit OK. So let's just save this. I need to actually remove the background color on this menu. Again, it kind of always has its thing. I want to make it transparent. Hit save. Save one more time. And I will exit, and we'll resave the theme builder and go to the front end and check it out. So let's see what we got here. If everything transferred back to the front end. So it is. We've got our little hover effects here. It's sticky the way it's supposed to be. The menu is, the logo is actually the right size here. So let's go back into this header. We're going to try and change the background color on this one. So we have everything sticky. We'll go under background. We've got regular background color, we're going to change sticky. Go into the sticky options here for the background color, and we're going to change it to black. All right, so let's just save this, go back to the front end and see if it works, and then we can tweak the colors and all those things. So we're going to hit reload. Let's refresh the page and try scrolling down, and for whatever reason, this sticky is still not working. Now I wonder, enable animated. Yep. So all of this should be just normal. Stick to the top. This is quite weird. If anybody knows what in the world I'm doing incorrectly here with these sticky options, let me know in the comments below, whether it's on the live stream or whether it's later. Just let me know what the hell I'm doing, because obviously I'm playing around with the sticky options and I'm not able to figure this out. So it should be in a sticky state. These things should be changing. Like, I'll show you all. This is actually a client site that I'm working on right now that I implemented the sticky state. So everything shrinks down. I actually did this one in the Visual Builder. So very strange that I'm not able to make it happen on this one. I believe on the other site I'm using 4.6, but I can't imagine that Elegant Themes would have broken their brand new feature with a point release. So it's got to be something I'm doing. Let me know. Let me know what the world I'm doing wrong. Okay, so let's see if maybe we can play around in the rows itself. Let's go into the sticky menu here and see if we can change this guy to black as well. Save. We'll try exiting here, saving it here as well. Save it twice and refresh the page. Now we'll see if just the menu background changes, but it doesn't. This is the wildest thing that I've seen, y'all. All right. Well, we've got the sticky menu. That part works. I feel pretty good about life, at least there. So let's go into the pages, and I want to try to make one of the sections on this page actually sticky as it scrolls up, and really have it stick to the bottom. So let's find something that would be great to stick to the bottom. Well, look what's working now. It's not working on the front end, but the sticky header seems to be working inside of the Visual Builder. Now that's very funny. I'm not doing anything wrong. Ha ha. Gotcha. Okay, so let's see about maybe making, that's a little too big. Not sure if the backgrounds look like they may be transparent. I wonder if this might be the first column that's actually moved up. So let's look at transform. Yep. So this is column 1 and this is column 2. So let's actually look at making this row sticky. I'll go to scroll effects, stick to the bottom, no offset. I want it to offset from surrounding sticky elements and transition. Sticky styles, not really necessary, but we'll leave it there anyway. So see here. So that's not exactly what I was envisioning. Not exactly what I was expecting, but I was thinking that it would scroll from view and then become sticky once it came into view, but stick to the bottom. So not 100% what I was thinking. Offset from surrounding sticky elements. So let's see what this is all about. That you actually do want. So, all right, bottom offset. Well, I don't want it to be moved around like that. No. All right, so let's see what this is all about. Aha! Now that's what I was hoping for. Perfect. So want it to be completely out of sight, and I want it to be able to scroll into view and then it stick there until where it was naturally placed in the layout came to be. So I think maybe, obviously it's a transparent background, if we added a white background to it, or maybe even a little grayer to match. All right, something along those lines, right? Kind of get the idea. So it's staying out of view until we get into the section. And then that section, it's coming up here and it's staying in view. So what I would do here is maybe even go to column 2, transform, and actually reset all of this right here, right? To where this is in line, it looks like it's kind of floating. And what would happen here is that exactly like this, right? So we get into the section, which is this section. As soon as you come into that section, this content, the new era of brewing, scrolls up from behind, and we get this join our newsletter that sticks to the bottom. It's pretty cool. If this whole section was longer, it'd be even cooler because it would stick there for a little while longer. But this is pretty cool. It looks like it's trying to stick to the top as well, which is probably something that I did on the sticky option. So let's go back into here. Stick to the top. Maybe. There we go. Now instead of the section, it's the whole. That's not exactly what I wanted. So maybe this one section and this one body area. So, it sticks after too. So that's not exactly what I want, but I do want it to be in the section. So yeah, that kind of works actually. Okay, so let's actually try this where, we did this whole background thing. I want to copy this and actually make it transparent again, but change the sticky color to this, right? So we've got the normal and we've got the sticky. So let's see what happens whenever I take it and we scroll. It's got its normal, and then I believe it faded. Yeah, you can see it as it scrolls over that last one. It goes from being transparent to fading into that color. So if I were to take column 2 and go back to the transform and actually move this thing up just a little bit. I guess that's the wrong one. I meant to do column 1, I guess. All right, so -75. Whoop. Not both of them, but just this one where it sort of overlays the other one. What you can do is take this transform. You can, okay, got sticky options here. So for the first row, what I really want to do is transform this. So when it's normal, I want it to be negative, whatever it was before, like say -150, where it overlays the way it was. Now when it's sticky, I would like it to be 0. So we go from here to here with a little transition. The background color is going to change as well. So you get the idea, right? So as we come in here, we come into view. This thing looks like this. It's got the solid background. And as this scrolls out, the whole newsletter jumps up. So it's a great little visual. It pops, it makes you have to look at it, or you want to look at it because it's doing some sort of movement. I like it. I think it looks pretty freaking good. It takes the basic layout of what Kenny and his team did and takes it to another level. That's a really cool use for the sticky options. I'm a fan. So what I'm curious about right now, curious. What I'm very curious about right now is why this stuff is not working on the front end. So let's see if when we come into this section, see this one, it pops up. So the sticky is working, some of the options, but the sticky styles are not working for some reason. So it's not shifting the way it was in the back end. The top menu still not switching. I'm not sure why, but it's okay, because you saw in the back end what we did works. That is actually good to go. So yeah, this is a fun use. I think that's a pretty cool way to use it. You can absolutely do some different things with the sticky options, but I think this might give you an idea of what ways you can use it, how powerful it can be. You could have email signups. You could have pop-ups come up from the bottom, for lead generation or lead magnets. You can do a ton of things with this. I think this takes Divi to a whole nother level. I'm pretty excited, like the maniacal laugh, ready for this one. So